we were solving in the last period the problems of beams, we looked at importantly a connected beam. So it is the condition of equilibrium, three equation what we had is not sufficient. Of course, they are necessary, but not sufficient to solve for all the support reactions. In such cases, it is mandated as to dismember the beam and go in for looking at an individual beam free body diagram and solve them. So we did that. So now let me take in another example where you see the connected body system, and let's solve that problem. That is, I'm going to have two discs supported by or connected by a slender bar. So one is thus. So let me just slipping. Let me take. There is a circular disc, and there is another circular disc which is smaller in dimension. And these two discs are connected by a slender bar. This is its center, this is its center. So this is connected by a slender bar. Pardon for this diagram. And, and also supported by a slope here as well as here. So this slope is of 60 degrees and this slope is of 45 degrees. And this member disc weighs the weight of this bigger disc. Let's say this is disc A is of 400 Newton and this disc weighs is of 200 Newton. And the slender bar, this is slender bar with the weight, mass of the slender bar is neglected, weight neglected compared to the weight of this disc. This is neglected, right? And the orientation of this slender bar connecting these two is 15 degrees. This orientation is 15 degrees. So if I ask you a question that these two spheres are the disc of 400 Newton and 200 Newton are supported by slender bar, connected by slender bar, supported at this slope, would settle at some particular angular orientation of the member in this support. But it is given this 15 degrees is a requirement of settlement or the orientation of this connecting slender bar of these two discs. And for that purpose, you required an external application of load P at this point at the direction 60 degrees, angle 60 degrees. It's upright, right? If this is so, now only that's possible to maintain this 15 degrees. So you have to find out what is the magnitude of this force P is what you have to find out. So that's a question. So in order to maintain the configuration shown of a connected system of two discs by a slender bar, what is the force P required, which is acting 60 degrees to vertical? That's a question. So how do you solve this problem? And also find out the reaction at all the connection points. So in such cases, you should solve this problem by dismembering. Right? Because now if I draw a whole free body diagram, I would have here a reaction at point 1. So let us say this is 1 contact point, this is point 2 contact point, and this is point A, the center of this disc, and point B is center of this disc. Or the slender bar is AB, like that I could say. So now I would have reaction RA here normal to the slope, and reaction RB normal to the slope. Two unknowns. With the P, 3 unknowns, I could solve for all the 3. But also, what is the force experienced by the slender bar is asked. So for that purpose, though the reactions could be found out in this case without dismembering, but to know the member force, the member AB, what is the force exerted on member AB, I require to dismember and solve. And I'm going to do that so that I would be able to find reaction at point A and slender member internal force or the force exerted on the slender member and the P as well. So what am I going to do? I'm going to draw a free body diagram of this bigger disk and the free body diagram of a smaller disk. And importantly, this slender member. So I just represent the slender member orientation by the line. This is 15 degrees now. Right? This point is A, this point is B. Let me draw individual free body diagram. So these problems are good problem to practice your drawing in free body diagrams. 400 Newton weight. And at this point 1, I have my reaction comes the normal direction to the slope, that is R1. The direction of R1, since the slope is 60 degrees, the direction of R1 to the vertical is 60 degrees. You should not have doubt in this. And you see now, I take this AB out. There is no force in the member. That's why it's a slender member. It is a slender member means it is an axial member. Axial member. So axial member would always have a force along the axis. So this member here, AB, is a two-force member. So that's to be remembered. So you have already seen in the last class two-force member equilibrium essentially by two collinear same magnitude opposite sense forces. So one, if I consider at this force exerted by that member onto the sphere, onto the disk, the direction of this is 15 degrees to horizontal. Is what is now RA, when I say this member is under compression now for free body diagram. This is RA. The force exerted onto the member is RA. So when I connect this point A and this point, this RA would disappear. That's the idea. And it's for its equilibrium at this point, I should have this RB value should be equal to RA. That's all. This understanding is what is two force member. And then again, free body diagram of this smaller sphere, one is 200 Newton. That's its load, and the force P, which is externally applied at an angle of 60 degrees. And of course, the reaction at point 2, which is R2, with the orientation 45 degrees. 45 degrees, right? So these are the free body diagrams. So now I can solve for all the unknowns and the required magnitude of P for this configuration. So all the unknowns means what all to be found out? The reaction R1, reaction R2, reaction RA. So that would be same as RB, and magnitude of P. So these all to be found out can be found out now very simply, right? So how do I proceed? So here you see, if I look at this sphere, I have R1 and RA, two unknowns and three forces, and see there are essentially concurrent system of forces. Yeah.
Sir, while drawing the free body diagram of this lower circle, shouldn't we mention RB as well? It is equal to RA, but then we just have to mention it in the free body diagram.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Who is this saying?
Sir, Ravi Shankar.
Ravi. Who is it? Could you please repeat your name?
Sir, Ravi Shankar.
Ravi Shankar. Yeah, excellent, Ravi Shankar. So it's of course required, because when you have to connect point B to this point, it is I just have overlooked and not put, and you got an advantage of telling me and motivate me that you have been keenly listening to me. Thank you. So this is the point RB, and this RB to be put here, RB load to be put. Then only it is under equilibrium. The concept of free body diagram of connected bodies is what, when I connect them, I should get back my configuration diagram. When I connect all the member and put all the supports back, I should get my configuration with the active loads. So that's exactly. So thanks for pointing out this, that RB to come on this. So You see here, I have one 2-force member AB, one 3-force member, this disk A, whereas disk B is not 3-force member. If I do not include this, it would have misled me at 3-force member, but it is not 3-force member. I have here 4 forces. So I have all combinations so far what you have learned and to apply. So I am going to solve for R1 and RA by applying Lamè's theorem. And hence I know what is that force exerted on the member AB. And then I will come back to this free body diagram to find out R2, RB and P value, right? So RB value is known, R2 and P value can be found, and I would use here condition of equilibrium. So that's exactly, we will do it in another 5 minutes and stop today's class. So always that we have a practice in the last class, this is free body diagram, but to apply Lamè's theorem, I would redraw this diagram conveniently, sliding these forces along its line of action called by the principle called principle of transmissibility. On a single rigid body, if I have a force, I can slide along the line of action. That's the principle of transmissibility. So if I do so, I can make these all forces coming or emerging out of a concurrent point. So one is the load 400 Newton. Another one is R1, which is inclined to the vertical 60 degrees. This 60 degrees. Another one is this RA, which is inclined to horizontal 15 degrees. So RA inclined to the horizontal 15 degrees. So this is the diagram. So this is now drawn. It is to make us convenient to apply Lamè's theorem. So what does Lamè's theorem state? R1 by angle included by other two vectors. So how much is 90 plus 15 is 105. Sine of angle included by other two vectors 105 degrees. Right? R1 by sine of angle included by other two vectors, that would be equal to RA by sine of angle included by other two vector R1 and this. So that would be 180 minus 60, 120. So sine 120. And that's equal to 400 by sine of angle included by these two. So how much is this? 90 minus 15 here, 75 plus 60. So 135 sine 135. So this is what is to be put. And this also in straightforward way. The unknown R1, that's 400 sine 105 degrees by sine 135 degrees, and RA, which is 400 sine 120 degrees divided by sine 135 degrees. So let me just solve this. 400 into sine 105 divided by sine 135, that's equal to 546.4, 546.41 Newton, and RA value is 400 into sine 120 divided by sine 135. That's 489.9, so it's 490 Newton. So I could get these two. So having RA found, I know now what is this member. This member is under compression. So internal force would be resisting this. So that internal force is asked in this member. It is to be represented in this opposite sense like this. Right. So this representation of internal force is what is called the compressive nature of internal force, which would be same as that of this and 490 Newton just found out. So I know here what is RB in this diagram, 490 Newton. So now solving for P and R2, again let me just redraw this free body diagram conveniently by applying principle of transmissibility, sliding the vectors, representing them as concurrent coming out of the point. So one is 200 Newton. That's the weight of that smaller disk. Another one is the required force P. If I bring the tail to this point, this is P, and that inclination to the vertical given is 60 degrees. And then RB is now in this, so bring this tail to this concurrent point, sliding that, and that would be, yes, that's my RB. And what is the direction of RB? It's 15 degrees to horizontal. 15 degrees to horizontal, right? That's RB, and we just found out it's 490 Newton. And then I have R2, which is now the tail. If I bring it, it will be here, and that is R2, which should be inclined to horizontal 45 degrees. That's all. So there are 4 forces now concurrent, and I can't apply Lami's theorem. That's only for 3-force equilibrium. And now I have to apply condition of equilibrium. Look at now P and R2, 2 unknowns, and let me have this concurrent point is my origin, and this is my x-axis, positive x-axis. This is my positive y-axis. I have now all orientation in order to account or apply the conventions while doing it. So let me just write an equation of sigma fx equal to 0 equation using this. So that would help me to write an equation now, which is minus p sine 60, this component to the left, plus 490 cos 15 minus R2 cos 45, that's equal to 0. Because the 200 Newton is vertical, that would not participate. So this all 3 inclined, so I have 3 components. So this is my equation 1. Next to sigma fx, fy equal to 0 when I apply. I would have R2 sine 45 upward, so that's possible, positive. R2 sine 45 positive, and P cos 60 down negative, minus P cos 60, and then 490, correct? 490 sine 15 down, so minus 490 sine 15 down, that's equal to 0. So you would have now solving for P, and simultaneously you can solve. This can be solved easily in the calculator, substituting coefficient of P and R2 and this constant term, and you can solve. So solving this, you would have your answer RB, sorry, P value. So P value is 107.18 Newton, which is inclined 60 degrees to vertical. This P is found. And what is R2? So R2 would be 537.85 Newton. So this is how we can solve. So again, this example problem I have taken deliberately in order to best understand drawing individual free body diagram and investigating whether are they 2-force, 3-force or multi-force members. So that would help you to appropriately apply whether Lami's theorem or condition of equilibrium and so on to solve. So if you have understood this problem, I hope that you would be able to solve any other given problems. With that note, let me stop answering. Let me stop today's lecture, and maybe I will post some of the questions in the tutorials in the question set. You can solve some additional problem. So this completes static equilibrium of connected bodies. So we may now get into next module or solve some problem additionally, and then go into module 2, wherein we are going to really apply this condition of equilibrium on real-time structures called frames and trusses. And with that note, let me stop today's lecture.